Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here with another design team project for Scrapping for Less. So this time we're definitely going to make a card, but just wanted to also let you know again that they have mini kits available. And again, this was something that I just recently learned. You know me. So I think it's really great. So if there was a past kit that you were interested in, and maybe just one of the collections, 9 out of 10 it may be available for you. So this one has the Fawn stamp set. Excuse me, I can't talk. It's their year 4 stamp set, but it's the Hippo Birdie to you. It also has a die that you can see up there in the left hand corner of a cake that says happy birthday, and that is by X-Cut. You're going to get some wood die cut pieces, some twine, and of course some sequins and some paper, both in stripes and polka dot. So again, plenty of materials to make multiple cards, just using these few items. So right off the bat, we're going to dig into that die, and we are going to cut this birthday cake 6 times using 3 of the pattern papers. I want to place them along my back panel. I just used a stitch rectangle from my die, or from my stash. And I'm just placing those around. I'm actually going to create my own pattern paper background. So if you've seen my previous videos, you know I love to do this. So once they're placed, I'm going to adhere them down with my liquid adhesive. This is my art glitter glue. And just set them randomly. I don't like when I create my background out of pattern papers or designs, whether it's stamped or not, I don't like it to be uniform. I want it to be messy, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm going to use my long Tim Holtz shears from Tonic to trim off the edges, for those that I did purposely place off the edge. Again, it makes it look like a true piece of pattern paper. That's what it's going to look like on our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding card base. And now we're going to stamp our images. Now, when I started stamping the images, I did pull out my Memento ink. I was going to use my alcohol markers, my Prismacolors. Again, I think I'm going left. I'm going to go right. Changed my mind, and I'm actually going to color these images with my Prismacolors. Color pencils are my medium of choice. And I guess I hadn't used them in a while when I filmed this. So now these Prismacolors that I'm using, there's actually a combination. So when I get into colors, I'm using the Prismacolor Scholar set. But for these grays that I'm using for the elephant, I'm actually using Prismacolors because they have sets of the warm grays and the cool grays in the largest set. So I always grab my Scholars. I think if you're starting out with your Prismacolors, if that's the pencil that you want to go with, because a lot of people have them, a lot of times it's either the Prismacolors or it's the Polychromos. I couldn't think of that. They're usually the 2 main sets that are out there in our world. I have close to 11 sets of colored pencils. I have the Dick Blick, I have the Lyras, I have the Spectrums, the Artezas, multiple of Prismacolors, just to name a few. I'm a colored pencil fan, so I like to try all types. So you can see I actually work my colored pencil, especially if I'm coloring this way. And it's tough to say or trying to describe what I'm talking about. I work it like you would a Copic. So I start with my darkest color on my shaded areas, and then I come in with my next level, and I go around that just to move that through, and then I come in with my next if I'm going into 4 colors, and then the light goes all over, and I keep going back and forth on that. When I want my colored pencil to look this way, where you can see the tooth of the paper. There's other times that I color where I'm doing florals and I'm doing layer upon layer upon layer, and that's very different when I use my colored pencils. So this is just one way that I do that. I can go into other colors, just as I did there with the balloons. Kind of rambled there through the colored pencils. There is going to be what technique class is coming out, and there's a couple of them actually, and one of them will be on colored pencils. So stay tuned for that, just so that I can explain it a little more. Okay, back to the card. So I took a piece of vellum and I used a stitch square rectangle for my stash, and I cut one of those squares out, and I'm just adhering my pieces. So the hippo was actually using my liquid glue, and then I used my micro dots for the balloons. So again, I didn't want to put them on the pattern paper that we just created. I mean, I could have propped them up there, but I thought they would have gotten lost. It's very busy. Even though they're big objects, they are busy. So using the piece of vellum kind of breaks that. Kind of gives it its own platform for those items to be seen. So I grabbed my Faber-Castell Pitt pens. I love these pens. I have multiple. And I'm drawing in my balloon strings. For some reason, a lot of times with balloons, I will draw in my own balloon strings and not use the stamp that comes with it. I'm strange. So I did the squiggles and the little tiny knots and all of that. So what I'm doing now is just putting some of my liquid adhesive around the cakes, and I'm going to use the sequins that come in the mini kit, and I'm just going to place those around. I'm also making sure that I'm using a color that's opposite the cake, so that they don't get lost. So as always, here are the close-ups of the card that we made. Again, this was a design team project for Scrapping for Less. If you are interested in these products, or you just want to check out their shop, of course, all the links for Scrapping for Less and the items that I used here will be linked down below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. You don't want to miss any future videos that are coming out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And again, as soon as I can. I do try to answer all of those questions or comments, but sometimes it does take me some time. I hope everyone's having a great day, but always remember what's most important. Always be creative.